sauce. I can see the noodles. On the red carpet, Alcatraz bar.
Like Jodeci, but don't you be too close to me. Them goons you see, let it go for me. I bring them things, I bring them things. I call him, he bring them things. Mucho, I bring them things. Looking so expensive, rings and things. I bring them things. I bring them things. I bring them things.
Yeah, I've been since my early days. I've been stuck in my worldly ways. Propaganda, press, pan the camera. Please don't look at me in my face. Everybody.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Bears going up against the Buccaneers. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thank you, Larry. They're on their feet here in Tampa as the Bucs get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'2" QB out of North Carolina, former number 2 overall pick. It's Mitchell Trubisky.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. Six yards to go here on second down. Now Trubisky. Over the middle, the tight end Shaheen with it. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Charles, you are the master of abstract facts. So who would you say is the best player ever drafted from Ashland University in Ohio?
How about the only one ever drafted from there? Adam Shaheen, the tight end. Went to the Chicago Bears. Began his college career, though, as a basketball player, Division II in the state of Pennsylvania.
Trubisky now to throw on third down. Got him, man. It's right. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. So opening drive, third down. They complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route because it gets the ball in their hands pretty quickly. Just a couple of quick steps upfield, break towards the middle, the ball should be there, and then they can do some work afterwards.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Trubisky with a give to Howard. Room to run past midfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The numbers there for Howard a week ago. 14 carries, 59 yards.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week. It's a pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
On first, they go right back to Howard. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. The starting 11 defensively for Tampa Bay.
When Gerald McCoy entered the NFL, he was part of a huge debate around the league. Gerald McCoy or Ndamukong Suh? Who would be the better defensive tackle? They both had more than their share of moments. And what's made Gerald McCoy a perennial Pro Bowl player? His ability to play just about anywhere on the defensive line, but especially to work over the centers and guards in order to create havoc in the pocket.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. And this one is incomplete.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Here's Pat O'Donnell to punt in his 4th year from Miami. Back deep for the Bucs, Deshaun Jackson. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. So here are the Bucs backed up to start their initial drive. They'll be led out by their now 3rd-year QB, the number 1 overall pick back in 2015 from Florida State. It's Jameis Winston.
As a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, it perfectly fits that he's their starting quarterback because of his swashbuckling style of play. This is a guy who lets it all hang out, leads by example, emotional type of leader that people tend to follow and gravitate towards, knows how to make big plays by keeping plays alive and extending them.
The first carry now for Doug Martin. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And a peek now at the offense for Tampa Bay.
I get the sense that Deshaun Jackson signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because he was excited about the possibility of playing with quarterback Jameis Winston, a young playmaker who keeps plays alive and has the arm to throw the deep ball, which is a specialty of Deshaun Jackson's game.
2nd down, Winston. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jarrell Freeman. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position. After the interception, here's Trubisky. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On 1st and goal, Howard. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
They'll try again with Howard. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Trubisky. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. Now the ex-Buccaneer, Connor Barthon, for the field goal try. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And Barth puts it through. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Shifts by him. Look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Jameis to throw it. Evans has it left side. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
For young quarterbacks, having that primary target's a big deal, and Mike Evans serves as that for Jameis Winston. Evans led the league in targets in 2016.
And went after him a ton. He also was 6th in catches, 4th in yards, and tied for 2nd in touchdowns.
And played in his first Pro Bowl.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 3-0 is our score. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. And they've got it here with a first down. From the gun, Winston. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Pernell McPhee able to use that strength and get him for a loss of 2. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work. Here's Winston. He's going to let this go. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Deshaun Jackson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now. How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can. Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think? I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it. Unfolding so far so good for him. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, a nifty juke there. Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it. A reminder, coming up tonight, Green Bay visits Atlanta. All sorts of storylines there. A playoff rematch, also the opening of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And then on Monday night, the Giants host the Lions. So the Giants play on Sunday night and Monday night to open the season. Yeah, 2 under the lights. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
5 yards there. And remember, Howard last year, 5.2 yards per rush, so right around his average. The only Bears running back that's averaged that many yards per carry in a single season, Walter Payton.
And if Jordan Howard can keep up that type of pace, the city of Chicago will surely embrace him.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
He leaves this one for Howard. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here we go.
On first down, they run with Howard. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Here we go.
They go play action with Trubisky. And it's complete. The tight end, Deion Sims. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Running with Howard. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Here we go. 3-19.
Now Trubisky to throw on second. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line. Robert Ayers coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Antonio Cromartie. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. But what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field, you take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
When halftime rolls around in just a bit, we'll send you to Orlando. You will hear the dulcet tones of Mr. Larry Ridley with our EA Sports halftime report.
Does dulcet?
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jarrell Freeman. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. On 3rd down, Winston trying to lay one up deep. And in incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Now the 6-year man from Cal, Brian Anger, on to kick. Back deep, Marcus Wheaton. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play back.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Robert Ayers. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And a long way to go for the offense here on 2nd down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
I like that about Trubisky. Has some calm in the pocket, some good presence, despite the fact only 13 starts in his college career, and an entirely different style of offense. Remember, he played that spread stuff while at North Carolina.
On 3rd down, this is Howard. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. And the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, standing just about on his own goal line. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. And we turn our focus to Doug Martin. He's only had a couple of carries. I mean, when you've got a horse like this, second quarter, got to start to ride that horse a little more, don't you?
You can't just neglect him. He's got to touch it, and often, in order to get maximum out of him. Typically, these types of backs, it's the accumulation of carries, and that's when you see the damage as the game goes on.
Yeah, let's see. They're going to try to get him into the flow, we would assume here. Jameis now on 1st down. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Now Jameis on 2nd down. Looking deep downfield. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
3rd and long for Winston. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Pretty move. Onto the field now come the Bears. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. On second down, Trubisky. And that's complete. It's Sims. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
The Bears on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Let's go! Green, 39! Green!
Now it's Trubisky. And he hits the tight end. It's Deion Sims. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Now Trubisky on first down. They'll set up the screen to Howard. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Let's go! 3-19!
Trubisky to throw again. Wright's got it. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. 23 yards on the play. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. So we've hit halftime here in Tampa with the Bucs out in front, as we will toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando. That's where we check in with Larry Ridley with our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get you caught up on all the highlights from the first half. Both the Buccaneers and the Bears are not doing much on the ground, and it's easy to see why that would play into this low-scoring game. We'll have to see if either team gets it going on the ground in the second half. Here we go. Let's do this.
Now, you folks don't know what you're missing. You're missing Larry Ridley. Ready to get back, though, to this Week 2 matchup. Let's get to it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30, right about the 29. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now a second down throw for Winston. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They go play action here on first down. Flush to his right. And some room to maneuver. 12 more yards there and another first down. He is tough to bring down, Jameis Winston. Charles, I remember calling a baseball game of his. He played baseball at Florida State, too, and you saw his legs, tree trunks sprayed in to those baseball pants. I said, how could anybody bring this guy down?
And that's part of the beauty of his game because he has that toughness, that thick body. He may not beat you sprinting, but he's real sharp with his mind, and he knows how to get away from people.
First down, here's the run with Martin. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. That one good for 33 and a first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They run again on first down. Martin. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
On second down, Martin. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
The Bucs last year just 8 rushing touchdowns, tied for 2nd fewest in the NFL. They've got it 1st and goal now. They'll run for it with Martin. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
They come out here in the eye. 2nd and goal. Defense digging in again here. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. They'll try and run it in with Burton. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Burton, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. And, Charles, maybe that's one they had dialed up. Hey, if we're in a 4th and goal situation, we're going to our muscle.
And you can feel the boom, boom, boom all the way up here where we sit. The earth was shaking, and he found his way into the end zone.
Yeah, but that's such a great guy to have around the goal line, isn't it?
Indeed it is. It's a great extra dimension to add to your offense. When you can finish things with power, that's hard for a defense to deal with.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
Kendall Wright, the intended target. And now it's second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Now Trubisky. He's going to loft one deep left. He's got a man. Complete. A big play there for the Bears on 3rd. 41 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Cameron Meredith, the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
But depending on the team, they call that an explosive play or a chunk play, the one that they got on the previous one. They tried to go back and get another one, didn't they?
They did, but unsuccessful on that second attempt. Second and 10 now. It's Trubisky. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Sims. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The Bears on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and over.
And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this 3rd quarter of play. On second down, here's Trubisky. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
On 3rd down, it's Howard. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And Barth puts it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I guess they're thinking their hands were tied, but in the fourth quarter, that field goal, it really might not help them much at all.
Yeah, I mean, you still need a touchdown. Another field goal does you no good, so it'll be interesting to see what the media reaction is if the score stays where it is.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground. But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Ford. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Robert Ayers in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
He gets it to Sims, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. So out come the Bucs now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Winston with a give to Martin. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Winston gives to the tailback, Martin. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The Bucs on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. They'll run it. Here's Martin. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. They give to Martin. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Another tote for the workhorse, Martin. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
The Bucs on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. A toss play. This is Martin. And that little deke, the juke move that we saw, able to give him the first down yardage before he's brought down. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes...